Welcome back to Comments Corner, where I go through comments you guys left for me and I answer them in this format because it's kind of fun. Great question. What happens when you add sugar to a dough? Yeast eats sugar, but normally it eats it in the form of carbohydrates, which is within the flour. When we add pure sugar, it's basically like jet fuel to the yeast, but it also competes for water. So the easiest way to think about it is if you see things like a teaspoon of sugar, it's basically going to make the yeast go a little bit faster, like a baguette, because it's got that jet fuel. If you see tablespoons of sugar, it's probably going to make the bread a bit softer, so think like a brioche. If you're seeing cups or more than just a few tablespoons of sugar, you're probably talking about a dough like a cinnamon roll, where you're not going to let it sit overnight. You're probably going to let it sit for a little while, ferment, puff up. But in that scenario, it's not as much of an issue that the yeast and the sugar are competing for the water because they're not going to sit as long. Another great question, what is this fluid? This is probably hooch, which is a byproduct of the fermentation that's happening in your starter. Basically, it's alcohol, so you can pour it off or you can mix it in. I've read that if you mix it in a little bit, it changes the flavor, a little more acidic, so up to you, but it is totally normal. You only want to worry when it starts to get moldy. Thanks for dropping this knowledge. I had not read this before, so nice to know a little bit of cultural history. However, I would be interested if anybody else has seen anything different. When I did a little bit of Wikipedia-ing, I saw that the dictionary was listing it something like in the 1930s, but the Italian reference is in the 1970s, so let me know what you find. And last but not least, thank you so much for sharing a tip on coconut sugar. So people take note, if you don't have powdered sugar, but you do have coconut sugar, go ahead and switch this out and use this reference. Let me know if you like Comments Corner, give me a like, a follow, or a comment. Can't wait to see you next time for more Comments Corner. Have a great day.